Alright folks, so a question I get asked all the time, both on YouTube and in my real life, is why do you carry a knife? Why do you EDC a knife? So I thought I'd do a quick video talking about a couple of different kinds of knives and some reasons why somebody might choose to carry one. But also I wanted to get some feedback from you guys. Why do you carry a knife? Do you EDC a knife? If so, why? Before we get into the video, why don't you go grab yourself a nice cold one, come on back, and we'll get started. Alright, so hopefully everybody made it back. And like I said, I get asked questions a lot around, why do you carry a knife? And one time really sticks out to me is that I was at a birthday party for a young kid. It was under 5. And somebody needed something cut. It was a package. It was a gift. And so I pulled out a knife. I don't remember which knife it was. It was a long time ago. And I went ahead and helped him out. And one of the dads pulled me aside and he said, "Hey, why would you carry that knife to a birthday party? Why would you bring that here?" And I said, because somebody might need to cut something, and you didn't have anything. And it was just kind of left at that. I'm still friends with the guy. I talk to him from time to time. Have a great relationship, but I do think that he was a little bit put off by it. So anyhow, going through some reasons why folks might choose to carry a knife, I think the first one comes up is defensive. And I don't carry a knife because I think I'm going to have to defend myself or defend somebody. I do carry a knife because I may have to, but that's not the primary reason. But I always think that that's the first reason people think of. They're like, oh, well, he carries a knife in case some fool comes up in here or some doper comes over and needs to be taken care of. And I just have a couple of different defensive knives out here. This is a knife that I do carry particularly as a defensive option. It's a Strider SLCC. This is a great knife. I love this thing. I think it's awesome. I really like it quite a bit. But I don't always carry it. I only carry it when, at times, because of my job or because of what I choose to do, I may go into a little bit of a shady area, and this is something that I would prefer to have than prefer to not have. Some other ones, you know, if I only carried defensive blades, I think something like this Cold Steel Recon would be something that I would carry all the time, and I don't. It's got great reach. I love this knife. I love to play around with it. It's awesome. But that's not really why I carry a knife, but I get it. I think a lot of people do carry knives for defensive options. And where I grew up, a lot of folks would carry knives, and a lot of times it would be knives that you didn't expect. People would carry kitchen knives or whatever kind of box cutters, whatever kind of knife they could get their hands on. And so I do think that defensively, a lot of... Oh, look at that, that's terrible. I should have been able to flip that open. A lot of folks would choose to carry a knife that may meet a defensive purpose. So here's a Spyderco military left-handed. I love Spyderco knives, and I love the military, especially the left-handed version. You'll see, based off of the pocket clips I have in most of these knives, I am a lefty. One of the other reasons would be work. You know, a lot of folks carry a knife because of work, and you might catch them off of work, at work, something like that. And this would be a knife that I think fits into that realm. And this is just a box cutter. It's got a disposable razor blade that you can take in and out of here. I do wish this had left-hand carry, but it doesn't. And I don't really carry anything like this often. This is something that I leave inside of like my toolbox, or maybe in a bag inside my car or my vehicle. I do use these all the time, but I don't carry them. But I could see how somebody would do that. And depending upon what your job was, you know, maybe you need to carry a knife, like a fixed blade like this. I think this is more of a utility knife or something you might carry because of a hobby, because you go out into the woods. But a lot of folks carry knives. Carpenters carry knives. People who do construction work carry knives. And carrying a knife because of your job or because of your work doesn't seem real crazy to me. That kind of takes into the next thing, and I do want to talk a little bit about utility. And I do carry something like this. I can't remember what model this is. This is a Victorinox something or other I picked up at like Target or Walmart. This is actually a Victorinox Pioneer, and I carry this almost every day. It's a great knife, and I carry this because I might need to use it for something. You know, it's got a blade on it. It has some other things. Here's an awl. And I carry this for its utilitarian purpose. And I might need to tighten a screw. I might need to cut a box. I might need to open a package. I might need to cut chicken nuggets at the bowling alley. Who knows what I would have to do with this? Open a beer with it, but that's why I carry it, just for utility purposes. And as part of what I do every day, here's another Victorinox Cadet's great. Because of what I do every day, I cut stuff. I use knives, and it's just part of what I do. You know, I'm an old man now. I'm grown. I got a family. When I was much younger, and I mean real young, like 7 or 8 years old, I joined the Boy Scouts, and you know, they had a program, I can't remember the name of it, where if you passed a certain test, you got to carry a pocket knife, and that was always real important to me. And I've carried knives my entire life. I don't carry them because I think it's a weapon, and I do carry them for more of a utilitarian purpose, because things come up where I need to do something, and I need to cut. This is you know. This is not really about showing knives, but this is a Spyderco PT. It's got the what they call their concealed carry or radiused edges on it. I love this knife. It's one of my most carried knives, and I really like it quite a bit. Another knife. You can see this thing's a little gooed up, a little boogered up, is a Spyderco Dragonfly, and this thing gets a ton of usage, and I use it all the time. And this is actually a really great knife. I take it when I go camping or hiking, just because it's so lightweight, and it's so capable. It's a terrific knife. The other thing is, you might carry a knife because it's cool, right? I mean, like everybody likes to have stuff that's cool and play around with, and this is a Microtech, and I don't carry it a lot. This is not the kind of thing that's exactly smiled upon in my area where I live, but I have carried it from time to time, and it's really more just fun. It's kind of a cool thing to play around with. This is the Ultratech, and then this is the UTX 70, which is an Ultratech that is 70% of the size of the normal Ultratech, and I do like that knife. It's awful fun to play with. It's a good time. Here's another knife that I carry a lot. It's just a neck knife, and it's been a lot of my videos. This is Spyderco Azula, and this thing is dirty. It needs to be cleaned up. It needs to have some work done to it, and I'll go ahead and do that. But it's a great knife. I do carry it around. Another knife that I carry around a lot for utility is this